subscribe.
Fight fans, welcome, and today we are previewing a show which is called The Last Dance, which is the UK versus Sweden, Chisora versus Wallin, and Aston versus Johansson on my show today. It's great to have you on, Håkan Johansson, the Swedish boxing encyclopedia. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm all good, thank you, and thank you for having me on your great channel.
No problem, mate. It's great to get you on. And I can see there you're actually sporting your Otto Wallin t-shirt as well.
Yeah, I have been waiting for a fight with Otto Wallin outside Sweden that I could attend. I've been to 5 fights with Otto Wallin in Sweden between 2015 and 2018.
Yeah. So you're well inside with the info. Then you're going to give us some good info on this show. Then,
yeah.
Well, we'll start with a preview. Then we'll actually start with Chisora versus Wallin. As I said, it's labelled The Last Dance. Bit of a strange one for me because it won't be his last dance. He'll have his 50th fight after this one. Yeah. So, but we'll give people the info. Derek Chisora, 48 fights, 35 wins, 23 KOs, 13 losses. Otto Wallin, 29 fights, 27 wins, 15 KOs, 2 losses. Me and you will both be attending this fight. I'm looking forward to getting to Manchester on Saturday. Obviously, you're coming for the weigh-in and you're coming a few days earlier. How excited are you for this fight? How excited do you feel for this fight?
I'm very excited for this fight. As a Swede, we don't have so many big stars in boxing, or Otto Wallin, not a big star, but he's fighting on the main event in the UK, and we don't see that so often with Swedish fighters. The last time it was Eric Skoglund against Callum Smith in 2017, so it's 8 years later now. So we don't see it often. So I'm very excited to fly over to the UK and be there, not just for the fight, be there for the weigh-in too.
Yeah. Well, as always, everyone that knows you on social media knows you are a fantastic supporter of British boxing. Obviously, you're coming for your fighter, but your support to boxing is just unstoppable, really. I mean, as regards this fight, go on.
I have loads of favorite UK boxer that I follow too. So I'm not just supporting the Swedish boxer. I'm supporting UK fighters too.
Yeah, your support can't be faulted at all, mate. I mean, looking at the fight here, you've got Derek Chisora, orthodox fighter, against a southpaw in Otto Wallin. If you analyse the last fights, really, last time out, we saw Derek Chisora against Joe Joyce, which he won a points victory, which was on the 27th of July last year. Otto Wallin was a first round stoppage win last time. Against the guy ranked 300 plus in the world. I don't think we learn a lot from that, really.
No.
How do you see Otto Wallin's chances in this fight?
I think this fight is very good for Otto Wallin at this point to meet Derek Chisora. But it's a must-win for Otto Wallin.
Absolutely.
If he loses, he's gone.
Yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I mean, I've got some of his stats up here for to get things, make sure I get things right. I mean, the last time out, like I said, he fought a guy who was ranked number 300 something in the world. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name, but obviously he's not a well-known name. But before that fight was obviously the day of reckoning against Anthony Joshua. I was very, very disappointed in Otto Wallin in that fight. I mean, I'd done a prediction show, I think it was on Steve Spezbach's STBX show, and I actually thought Otto Wallin had a good chance of beating Anthony Joshua. I don't know what happened to him in that fight. He froze a little bit. He seemed a bit tentative. I was, like I said, I was really disappointed with him. I mean, did you think he had a chance against Anthony Joshua?
Beforehand, I didn't think that he had so much chance. I was hoping, but I think Joshua Joshua is a level above Otto Wallin in my opinion.
That's nice and honest. Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. So, as regards like Derek Chisora, as we said last time out, Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce has been really touted for big things at one point. There's no doubt about it. Recently, his performances have dropped. He's sort of fell apart. He's fell out of where he was at near the top of the rankings. Still an excellent victory for Derek Chisora. Not many people thought he'd beat Joe Joyce. Obviously, the labelling, as we said earlier, the last dance, what they mean effectively is this will be his last dance in the UK, because win or lose this fight, we still expect him to go on and have his 50th fight in, whether it be Saudi Arabia or anywhere like that. It would be a Riyadh season card, possibly with the names tagged, things like Dillian White 3 or something like that. But this fight for me, I think that Otto Wallin is going to try and keep Derek Chisora on the end of a jab. We know what Derek Chisora does. He bulldozes his way in. He keeps his guard up as he comes in, tries to bulldoze his way in. I think you're going to have War Chisora against a guy, like I said, keep him on the jab. Very, very technical Otto Wallin. I don't think he's going to want to engage too much with Derek Chisora. Do you see the fight similar?
Yeah, I see it like Otto Wallin will be on his back foot all fight and use his counter punching.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to ask you for a prediction now, what would your prediction for the fight be?
My prediction is that this fight is very good for Otto Wallin. Like I said before, that face Derek Chisora right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Not 5 years ago.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
and I think Otto Wallin could jab and be on the back foot and counterpunch and win the rounds. I think he could win the fight, but I think it will be a close one. But I think Otto Wallin could take the win on points.
Yeah, I'm a very similar opinion to that. I think that Otto Wallin is going to win the fight on points, exactly how you said, on the jab. Very, very technical. Chisora. The only thing that Chisora has got here for me, I think he'd have to knock Otto Wallin out. Whether you can say Otto Wallin's chin is good is debatable, because against Anthony Joshua, he did get caught and he was hurt. But against Tyson Fury, he was not really a massive puncher. He did get clipped in that, but he also clipped Tyson Fury. But he's never really been hit on the whiskers as much as he did against Anthony Joshua. So you don't really know how good his chin is. I mean, Derek Chisora, would I say he's a massive puncher? No. But one thing, he's a guy very, very aggressive. And when he puts his shots together and he lands them, they pack a punch. So it's going to be interesting to see. I just think Otto Wallin is going to look to stay out of trouble. And I think he will be able to stay out of trouble against an aging Derek Chisora, not as quick as he used to be. And I just think Otto Wallin is going to nick the fight on points. But I think, obviously, the aggressor in the fight is going to be Derek Chisora. And Otto Wallin, I'm not saying he's going to spoil the fight or be negative as such, but I agree with you, he's going to be more on the back foot, let Chisora come at him, keep him on the jab, hold him off, and I think that'll be enough to get him a points victory. And after that, he needs to go on to fights then, obviously, that will take him up to the higher rankings again and get himself involved in the Riyadh season cards, etc. Again, do you agree? Yeah,
I agree. And this is very good for Otto Wallin to fight at the Queensberry show with the involvement that Frank Warren has with Riyadh season.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. I mean, this show looks like it's sold very well as well. I mean, I know this show has had its critics by quite a few people saying, "Oh, it
Yeah,
won't sell well. It's not a very good fight. The car's not very good." But it has sold very well. Derek Chisora always sells pretty well. I'm a big supporter of his. I've got some of his old programs up above me here.
yeah.
I've been to several Derek Chisora's fights. He's always keeping us entertained, so I'm looking forward to going. So what we'll do now is we'll move on quickly to the next fight. Unfortunately, Willie Hutchinson versus Zach Parker is off. Dislocated shoulder for Willie Hutchinson. Really gutted about that fight. I thought it was going to be a cracker.
Yeah, me too.
It's a gutter. But as it stands right now, there's not an opponent for Zach Parker, but he's still looking to stay on the card. But as we're recording right now, there's no opponent for him. But let's hope to see Zach Parker get out. I know Callum Simpson's put his name forward to fight him, but whether we see that, because obviously there's been Callum Simpson's third fight in so many now, so I can't see that fight happening. But I think they'll go for something like a tough European or something like that will give Zach Parker rounds. Do you have any news of any opponents you've heard or anything?
No, I haven't heard anything about an opponent, but I agree. It could be a European that they looking for now.
Yeah, give Zach Parker some rounds. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
the next fight on the card we're going to pick up on here is the vacant WBA Continental European Middleweight title. Massive ticket seller Nathan Heeney against Sofiane Carty. Nathan Heeney, 20 fights, 18 wins, 6 KOs, 1 loss, 1 draw. Sofiane Carty, 22 fights, 17 wins, 6 KOs, 5 losses. This fight for me is probably the perfect fight for Nathan Heeney at this stage, coming off the Brad Paul's loss when he got stopped in the 12th round. Sofiane Carty, last fight, won a 4th round TKO against Noel Laforgue. I'm not very good with names, it's a name like that. The one thing you can say about his opponent here is he's been very active in 2024, 5 fights and a points win over 8 rounds against Gary Spike O'Sullivan, another guy who I had on this channel. So that's the name really on his record. How do you see this fight going?
I think this is like a stay busy fight for Nathan Heeney and to come back after the loss. And I think it's a good fight for Nathan Heeney to come back for. So, and I think Nathan Heeney will take this on a fairly wide points decision.
Yeah, well, when you look at the two fighters, they're not big. I mean, they've got 6 KOs each. They're not massive punchers, so I think the odds-on bet would be for this fight to go the distance. I mean, as we said last fight, Brad Paul stopped Nathan Heeney in the 12th round, but Heeney needs to win this fight. Definitely, he's against a weak puncher. And if when I interviewed Nathan Heeney on my channel, he said his ideal fight would be to fight Denzel Bentley an ideal fight for him would be to fight Denzel Bentley at the Stoke Stadium. And as we know, Denzel Bentley is now the British and European middleweight champion. So there's no doubt about it. Heeney needs to 100% win this fight to be talking about fights like that. But I think I agree with you. I think it'd be a fairly comfortable points win for Nathan Heeney. And I just want to pick up on as well, I think he sold 2,000 tickets for this fight. As you know, Håkan, always massive support for Nathan Heeney, isn't there?
Yeah, it's the support from Nathan Heeney is amazing. And for me to be at this card and to see Nathan Heeney for the first time and his ring walk,
that's brilliant.
Really looking forward to the atmosphere for Nathan Heeney.
Yeah, it's incredible, mate. I've done a few of them now, and it is something else. It's a brilliant atmosphere when Nathan Heeney comes out, and you'll really enjoy that as well. So we're both agreeing on that one, a points victory for Nathan Heeney. The next fight that I want to pick up on is Jack Rafferty versus Rhys McMillan, which is for the British Commonwealth and WBC International Superweight lightweight titles. Jack Rafferty, 24 fights, 24 wins, 15 KOs. Rhys McMillan, 18 fights, 17 wins, 2 KOs, 1 loss. How do you see this fight going?
I believe Jack Rafferty will dominate and win this fight on a stoppage, maybe round 7, round 8. I think he's on a maybe. I haven't seen both fighters so much, but I've followed Jack Rafferty for a while. And the reason for that is that the Queensberry shows hasn't been on in Sweden for a while. So I haven't had the opportunity to see Jack Rafferty as much as I wanted.
Well, his last fight, I don't know if you've caught up on it with YouTube. He fought Henry Turner. He was actually the outsider in that fight. He dropped Henry Turner in round 9, and the corner of Henry Turner pulled him out in round 9 after being dropped by a body shot, went back to his corner, and they simply pulled him out. Basically, Jack Rafferty was losing that fight on the scorecards, and I was really, really impressed the way he dug in. And as the fight went on, he really, really did come on in the fight a lot. And it was an impressive the way he poured the pressure on, and it was a great attitude he showed. And the one thing I think you can see with Jack Rafferty, he's definitely got some real punching power behind him. So I'm in agreement with you here. I'm expecting him to beat Rhys McMillan, and I think he'll take him out mid-rounds. I mean, last fight, Rhys McMillan, he fought Kane Gardner, and he won a points victory. But I just don't see how Rhys McMillan is going to be able to put a dent in Jack Rafferty. I mean, if you look at his record, 2 KOs in 17 wins, I just don't see how Rhys McMillan will be able to put a dent in Jack Rafferty here. I think that's to beat Jack Rafferty, that's what you need to be able to do. Whereas Henry Turner, lovely boxer, but he just couldn't seem to put a dent in to hinder him coming forward, Jack Rafferty. But I think this could be a very, very good fight while it lasts here. I think like it's well, I'd agree. Would you agree it's one of the most entertaining fights on the card?
Yeah, I agree with that. And when now Willie Hutchinson and Zach Parker is off, so this is the best fight on the undercard for me.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Yeah, for me, Willie Hutchinson, Zach Parker was going to be a cracker of a fight, and it's just a gutter to lose that. But so there's the 3 fights that we've covered. Then there's one more that you mentioned to me off camera. Do you want to tell us the fighter that you're on about?
Yeah, Nelson Heiser's fight. Nelson Heiser from Albania that has 19-0 and 17 KOs, and he has signed for Warren Boxing Management and had a fight in the UK for a couple of months, maybe 3-4 months ago, and I was very impressed with him, and so I'm looking forward to see him. And I know a lot of Albanian fighters. I'm a close friend with a matchmaker and manager from Kosovo. So I have followed the Albanian boxing for a few years.
So, and that's a WBO European heavyweight title fight, is it?
Yes.
Nelson Heiser, yeah. Well, if you quick look at his record, like you say, big puncher, 19 fights, 19 wins, 17 KOs. But as you mentioned off camera, he's now 40 years of age. That's, you're definitely reaching your peak there, aren't you, at 40?
Yeah, and I think he got his opportunity now in the UK. and has been fairly unknown before. So fair play to him at that age to his breakthrough at 40 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at his opponent, 12 fights, 12 wins, 9 KOs. I mean, he's ranked number 148 in the world, so he's not ranked that highly, but he's an undefeated guy, a decent knockout ratio. You just don't know what you're going to get in heavyweight boxing, do you?
Yeah, I agree. So I'm looking forward to that fight, to see Nelson Heiser, and I believe it will be a lot of Albanian fans who's traveling over to watch him.
I really. Well, that's great. That's great to see when there's so many different fighters on the card. Like you just mentioned that guy, and then you mentioned Nathan Heeney. There's big ticket sellers on this card. Derek Chisora main event sells a lot of tickets as well. And for all the criticism this card has, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Like you, mate, I'm really looking forward to it. Bring on Saturday.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But it's been great having you on, Håkan, and this has been the battle of the UK versus Sweden. I hope you've had a good time being on my show, mate.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on your show. I really like your channel.
Oh, thank you, mate. Thanks for all the support as well that you show towards my channel. And everyone, if you don't know him already, follow Håkan Johansson on Twitter, which is now X. Always brilliant boxing content. The absolute boxing encyclopedia. He knows the ins and outs of everything about boxing. If you need to know anything, Håkan Johansson is the man. And I want to take this time, Håkan, to thank you very much for coming on my channel.
Thank you, Darren.
Cheers. Thank you, mate. And I just want to say to everyone, no problem. I just want to say to everyone, if you can like, comment and subscribe, tell us your opinions on the fights, whether you agree with us, whether you don't agree with us, that's absolutely fine. All comments are appreciated, all subscriptions appreciated. I'm loving what I'm doing so far. I'm looking to build the channel. And thanks, Håkan, again. And thanks, everyone, for watching. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.